Welcome to What's Math. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. This video will focus on system of equations solved by graphing. Solving system of equation by graphing. Step 1. Graph each equation on the same graph grid. Step 2. Solution. There are only three possibilities. The first one is intersecting lines, and the point of intersection is your answer and is written x comma y. Your x value is always first and your y value is always second. Second scenario, there are parallel lines. And what do we know about parallel lines? They never touch. And because they never touch, there is no point of intersection, so therefore we have no solution. The third scenario is if it's the same line. So you graph one and you graph the second one, you notice that they're sitting on top of each other, so therefore they share every single point in common. And that means your answer will be infinite solutions. Example, solve the system of equation graphically. Y equal x minus 1 and 3x plus 2y equals 8. I will encourage you, if you need more clarification on how to graph a linear equation, to check out my video on graphing linear equations. Let's graph the first one. Y equals 1 over 1x minus 1. I put 1 over 1 because 1, we do not see a coefficient on the x, so therefore the coefficient is always 1 where you don't see a coefficient on a variable. We're doing the slope and want it to be rise over run, and any integer as a fraction is always over 1. So that's why we have 1 over 1. Your b, which is your y-intercept, is that constant value because y is by itself and it's in y equals to mx plus b. That b goes straight on your y-axis and it's your first point on your y-axis. Your slope in this case is 1 over 1, which would be your movement from your first point, your y-intercept. And what does it mean? The top is positive, that means I need to go up 1 unit, and the bottom is positive, so I need to go to the right 1 unit from your y-intercept. So I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to go to the right 1. I'm going to put a point, use a straight edge, and I'm going to draw my line. Let's go ahead and graph the second equation. I'm going to use a shortcut here. Instead of turning it into y equals to mx plus b, which is slope-intercept form, I'm going to use a shortcut. Remember, this is in standard form, so the coefficient of x is a, the coefficient of y is b, and the constant is c. Your slope is always going to equal to a over the opposite of b, so therefore it's going to be 3 over negative 2 because the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2 and is equal to negative 3 over 2. It's a negative slope, but whenever you're graphing, you want to make sure you put a negative either in the top or in the bottom. It's my preference to always put it in the top. My b will always be c over b. C is 8 and b is positive 2, so therefore 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. So my y-intercept is at 4, and that goes straight to the y-axis. Now my movement, what does my slope mean? It's negative 3 over 2, so it actually means down 3 and 2 to the right. And I'm going to do that from my y-intercept. So I'm going to go down 3 units, and I'm going to go 2 to the right. I'm going to put a point, use my straight edge. I'm going to draw my line. As we can see, both lines intersect at 2, 1. X is 2 and y is 1. And that would be your answer for your system of equation. Please go ahead and check for understanding. Solve the system of equation graphically. Y equals 2 over 5x plus 2 and y equals to 2x minus 6. Solve the system of equation graphically. Y equals 2 over 5x plus 2 and y equals 2x minus 6. I'm going to go ahead and put my y-intercept on my y-axis. I'm going to take my slope and figure out what it means. It's positive 2, so it's 2 up, and it's positive 5, so 5 to the right, and that's for my y-intercept. And then I'm going to place the point, use my straight edge, and draw a line. The second one, y equals to 2 over 1 x minus 6. Remember, I want the slope to be in the form of a fraction, so any integer as a fraction is always over 1. I'm going to put on my y-intercept on the y-axis, and 2 over 1, my slope will mean 2 up and 1 to the right. So from my y-intercept, I'll go up 2, and then I go 1 to the right, and then I'm going to use a straight edge and I'm going to draw my line. As I can see, both lines intersect at x equals 5 and y equals 4. And that was your final answer. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click that little bell for further notification. Like and share my videos. If you like what you saw in this video, please feel free to buy me a cup of coffee. It's not mandatory. Thank you in advance.